Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name is Angie, and today we're doing a new thing on my channel. I kind of want to make this a series, and what I want to do is playing with palettes. What I mean by that is I'm literally going to take a palette that I have, and I have a good handful of palettes, and what I'm going to do is take a palette and only use that one palette to do a whole look with that. And I just thought it was a good way to get use of all my makeup. A lot of it just sits there because I'm afraid to play with it for some reason. So I thought that I would start doing this so this way you guys can see how I do my makeup when I decide to play with a new palette or try to figure out a look and everything like that. So yeah, the palette that I used today was the Revealed 2 palette, and this is the one with the dupes from like the Naked 2 and Naked 3. So I thought that I would try to create a look with this, and I think this look is very similar to the one that I had in my full coverage routine, which I will link down below for you or put in the eye in whichever corner it is. I can't remember. Also, before we get into the video, if you have any looks that you want to see or any palettes that you want to see in action or anything like that, just let me know down below in the comment section because I would gladly do that. Also, with this video, the reason why it's a little long is because I did do a full face minus my brows. I will have a brow video going up soon, and I feel like the face makeup turned out pretty good, and I feel like it looks a lot more smooth than what my real skin looks like. So I thought that I would include it in this video and everything. I think that's everything that I have to tell you guys, so I guess we will get into the playtime with this palette and you know, see how we get to this point, okay? So yeah, bye! Mind you, right now it is like 1 o'clock in the morning, at 1:45 right now. I have nothing else to do and I was really bored, so I felt like, why don't I try and do my makeup? I'm just using the Tarte BB Tinted Treatment as my primer, and I use the shade Light. I'm just gonna rub this into my face so we have nice and primed skin. And I'm gonna take the remainder that I have on my hand because I squeezed out way too much. You need like half a pea size to do your whole face, to be honest. I'm going to run it down my neck since my neck has some spots I'm gonna use some foundation on. And this primer kind of sets pretty quickly, or at least it feels like really smooth and not sticky really quick, so it's really good for that. Next, I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. This is the little itty bitty one that I got from my Ipsy bag. And what I'm going to do is dot a little bit on my hand, just a very little bit. You really don't need a lot. It's like maybe 1/4 of a pea size. And I'm going to use my ring finger and I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand before putting it on my face, just to make it a little more emollient. And I'm going to dot this on the outer corner of my eye, there, on my inner corner here, and then whatever's left on my finger I'm going to press along my lower lash line because I do have some discoloration there. I'm going to press this in with my finger, and I'm only like pinpointing where I need the coverage, or at least the correction, because I'm going to go in with like a highlighting concealer afterwards. Now the other side. And as you can see, like, it cancels out a lot of the discoloration that I have around there. But if I have any left on there and I have any like really big spots on my face, this one right here on my upper lip, I'll use the concealer for that. It does a good job covering like red acne spots, or at least to me, I feel like it does a pretty good job. So if you don't want to spend money on multiple concealers, this is actually a really good one that's good for both acne and for underneath your eyes and everything. Next, I'm going to go in with my foundation, and today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I'm in the shade Warm Nude. And it looks really dark, but like, I guess, oh no, it's really dark. But I feel like it blends into my skin pretty well. And what I like to do is actually like put a pump on the back of my hand here, and I work pump by pump. I don't like pumping out a whole bunch of foundation all at once because I feel like it's a good way to waste it. So I'm going to pick it up on my beauty blender and start on my cheeks. And I'm going to start where I need the most coverage. So majority of my acne scars are in this area. So I'm going to just press this into my skin. I don't want to go too high under my eyes since I am going to use concealer, and I don't want to like cake up a whole bunch of face products on my face. Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid the under eye as much as possible. but get my nose still. And just work this all around my face. And with this foundation, I only need like maybe 3 pumps to do my whole face and my neck. And I'm not too concerned about my ears because I'd wear my hair down. And I'm just doing 1/2 right now to show you the coverage that I get with this. Okay, so this is 1/2 of my face with foundation on. And this side doesn't have any on. There we go. I turned down my light a little bit so you can actually see the real coverage of it instead of my lights washing me out. And for the most part, it covers pretty well. I'm not mad about it. I can still see, I don't know if that's texture I'm seeing or if that's the actual coloring of my scars right here, but it doesn't bother me right now. I'm gonna do the rest of my face, and then if it seems apparent that I need to cover it up some more, I'll use the excess foundation to cover it. As you can see, this is close up, of course, because, you know, I wanted you guys to see me do my eyes and everything. And this is what my skin is looking like with just the foundation and the primer. And it covers up all of my discoloration pretty well. And like my forehead, and you'll see it throughout the video, like especially when I'm doing my eye makeup, I crinkle my forehead a lot, so there's going to be some creasing up here. I've gotten used to it, honestly. It's normal. Let's get started on the eyes, and I'm going to be using the Benefit Air Patrol BB Eye Primer. And I'm going to put this all over my lids. And I'm just going to swipe this here, do another click, and swipe this here. And if I need more, I'll grab more. And then I'm just going to pat this into my eye. And I'm going to try to get this all over my lid up to my brow bone. Just going to pat it in with my finger. And then to set the base, what I'm going to do is actually take a translucent powder. I'm going to be using my Bye Bye Pores by IT Cosmetics to do so. And I'm just taking my fluffy brush. This is a 109 brush from Sonia Kashuk. And I'm just going to set this primer in place. And now for the other side. Now that our base is set, the eyeshadow that we're playing with today is the Revealed 2 palette, this one right here. And this is like the dupe for the Naked 3. I think it has dupes for the Naked 3 and the Naked 2 in here. So what I'm going to do is go in with this second shade here. It's actually really pink compared to what's showing up on camera right now. And I'm going to use this as like the transition color and throw this into my crease. This way we have like a nice light transition, and we can hopefully get the pinks to work into this. So I'm just dusting this in my crease right now. Because this color is a lot lighter than my skin tone, I know it's not going to actually show too much on camera, but I just want it there so everything will blend a little bit easier. I'm going to be using my Smashbox dual-ended brush, the one that came in my full exposure palette, the one with like a 217-ish side and then a flat shader brush. I'm going to take the fluffier side and dip into this middle shade here, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to kind of define my crease with this a little bit. Like put a wash of color into the crease and then also define it a little bit more. These shadows are really pigmented. I just think my lights are washing out the color. So I just adjusted my lights so this way it would show up a little bit better. So I'm going to build this up a little bit. And I'm leaving it so it's more flat, and I'm putting that into my crease rather than making it more of the tall side. So like this, not like this, but this is going in my crease. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to go into this shade here on the second row. It's a deeper taupey color than the first one that we used. And I'm going to do this a little lower than the shadow we just put down. So more directly into the crease. And blend this in. And I'm going about 2/3 of the way into my eye, because for me personally, I feel like that works best for my eye shape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my brush so it's perpendicular to the way it was and go back and blend just to get a more gradient effect on the crease. Now to add the color to the crease. This is going to be slightly intimidating, but for me it works. I'm going to go into this bright berry shade right here, this one right here. Same brush, just lightly, like I have barely anything on my brush. And I'm going to start with it the long ways, so like this in my crease, and sweep it through. And I want the most deposit of color on this top part of my outer corner, and then just blend it throughout. So this way we can get color in the look. So like that. And I always start with just a little bit so this way I can build up the color if I want to, instead of just going balls to the wall with it and then like having more than what I can handle. I'm gonna go back to it more flat and blend some more just in the crease. And if you want more pigmentation than that, then that's when you can dip back in, which I'm going to do. I'm just going to slowly build this color in my crease. Now what I'm going to do is take my first initial blending brush and kind of blend the edges of the eyeshadow. I'm not going to put this in my crease, just literally on the edges, just so it's not too intense. And then go back in with this brush and blend. So it's like that. And then before I go into the other eye, what I'm going to do is take this deeper color in here that's like a more browny version of this color that we just put in our crease. Softly cut the crease using my Crown C412, just because it's a pointed brush and it'll get into the crease really well. I'm going to dip the tip into that color and just define my crease a little bit more with it. This way we're staying in the same color family, but then you get a little bit of definition. I'm also going to take this on the outer corner too, just to create depth there, and I'm going to do this in circles. So the crease is a little more defined and we still have that color. So as you can see, this is where we're at right now, and like we still have all the color and the intensity on the outside and everything. I really like how this looks, and I just think it looks... So what I'm going to do now is pick up this first shade on the top here, and I'm going to use just a flat shader brush to do this. And I'm going to just swipe my brush in there. I'm going to pick up a decent amount of product on my brush, and I'm going to start at the inner corner and pat it on. And this color does have an iridescence to it, and I only put it on the lid where I have like skin showing, but if it hits the dark corners, it's okay. Take your blending brush and just slowly feather it in. This way it's not like a harsh transition. And then if you'd like, you can take your pointed crease brush or whatever you use to give more definition to the crease. You can use that and do circles on the outer corner as well. And of course you can add more product if you like, just to keep the depth on the outer corner. And then I'm going to drag this into the crease as well. But for the most part, the inner part of your lid should be pretty bright, and if you'd like, you can take Fix Plus to this. I'm going to pack a little bit more on. This way it's nice and bright. Just to be a tad bit extra, what I'm going to do is take the highlight that I'm going to use on my face. This is the Laura Mercier highlight, the Matte Radiance Baked Powder and Highlight 1. I'm going to take my flat shader brush and pick up some of the highlight on the brush, and then I'm going to spray it with MAC Fix Plus to give it more shine. And then I'm going to put this on my inner corner for the highlight. Oh, yes, yes. I feel like it looks pretty good in person. I like how that looks. And then I'm going to finish my lower lash line after I do my concealer and everything. And before I do my wing liner, I'm going to tightline, and I'm going to use the NYX gel pencil liner in Pitch Black. As you can see, it defines the eye a little bit more, and I hate when I'm wearing like eyeliner at all and you can see the skin under here. And if you've never done it before, just be aware it's gonna tickle, and it's gonna tickle really bad, but I swear it pays off to do it every time. Now I'm gonna do some wing liner, and I'm going to use the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. Out of every eyeliner I've ever used, this is my absolute favorite because it's precise, it's thin, and it does the job really, really well. So what I'm doing is I'm starting 2/3 of the way in, and I'm gonna line my lash line. Like, I'm literally running my brush on my lash line right now. And I'm trying to keep it more thin right now, so this way I can build my wing. I have to hold my breath every time I do this. I'm gonna do the other eye right now too, just so I can try to keep it as even as possible. And honestly, my right eye is my trouble eye, so I think I'm gonna do this wing first. So I'm going to slowly draw out my flick, and then connect it. And fill it in. See where it sits on my eye. And then from here, that's when I start to build it a little bit longer. And flatten out the top. So this is what one wing looks like. Let me do this side before we start making adjustments. You know what? That's okay. You know, I don't want to fuck with it anymore. So for me personally, when I'm doing my wings, all that matters is how it looks when my eyes are open. And to me, this looks even enough where I'm happy. I don't want to mess with it anymore. And it looks good. But you can tell like a little bit, like the shape of this one is a little different from the shape of this one. From here is just mascara and lashes. The mascara that I have on hand right now is actually a lash primer, and it's by Blink. I got this in BoxyCharm last month, but I'm going to just quickly coat my lashes so they kind of blend in with the falsies. So just thinly coating my lashes. And the lashes that I'm going to be using today are these Ardell Demi Wispies, the 120s. So I'm just going to wiggle them to bend them into shape a little bit. And I am going to use tweezers to apply them. And the glue that I'm going to be using is a Duo Brush On. I didn't even measure these to my eyes. I'm just going to go with it and see how this goes. First try on camera. This is great. Yeah, you can totally see where I fucked up when I was putting the glue on. But it's sticking and I'm happy with that. So that's one lash on. Time to do the other. Nope, gotta retry. It's fucking annoying. It always happens that way. First one always goes really, really well, and then the second one just doesn't. Why you gotta play me, lashes? Time to do the rest of the face. So my card filled up while I was highlighting, but all I did was highlight underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, center of my forehead, my chin, and the corners of my mouth. And then I set it with the NYX Mint Green HD Finishing Powder. I know it doesn't look really green in the pan right now, but it is. And I also did my brows. I will have a video coming out soon about how I do my brows. It was like a pretty easy, foolproof way on how I do my brows. Anyways, we're gonna finish up the rest of the makeup since this tutorial is probably gonna be hella long. I'm gonna go ahead and bronze my face. I'm going to be using the NYX Matte Bronzer in Deep Tan. And I'm just going to warm up my face a little bit. And I'm using the angled blush brush from e.l.f. And I'm just going to start in the hollows of my cheeks. But I'm going to blend it out so this way it'll just be a bronzed look to my skin. And I'm trying not to be too heavy with it since our eye look is pretty dramatic. But yeah, I don't have another like bronzing brush with me, so this is why I'm using this one. I'm just flicking it up. This way we have like a nice gradient. I also set my face with the Bye Bye Pores from It Cosmetics. And I really like that powder. It makes my skin feel really smooth, and I feel like it looks really smooth too. Like, I know I have like a lot of the crater scars and everything that are very noticeable, but I feel like in person it looks really smooth. And then I'm also going to use this around my hairline and just a little tiny bit on my nose. And then what I'm going to do is take my powder brush, it's the Real Techniques powder brush, and kind of buff it out a little bit so it's not so harsh and it looks a little more natural. And then I'm also going to hit like my jawline with this, just a little bit to create more of a shadow and also define the jawline. Next I'm going to take my blush. This is the Model Co blush in Peach Bellini. Looks like this, and I'm going to take that on the same brush, tapping off as much of the excess as I can, and I'm gonna hit the apples of my cheeks just to give me a flush of color here. And then to finish up the eyes, I'm gonna be taking a pencil brush. This one's from Royal and Langnickel, and this is their BX95. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that shade that we used to deepen up the crease, the shade right here, and run this on my lash line. Sorry my camera cut out when I was doing my lower lash line, but all I did was take, as I showed you guys before it cut out, this color here on the lower lash line, and then I used this color, this one right here, to kind of smoke that out a little bit and like, you know, make it less harsh. So now what I'm going to do is line my waterline, and I'm using the NYX gel pencil, the same one that we used to tightline. And I'm just running this through my waterline. I'm trying not to get it on my lashes, like my lash line, just strictly on the waterline. So it just defines the eye a little bit. And then I'm going to take my pencil brush and smoke that out. And now we are going to hit the bottom lash line with mascara. Oh wow, it makes it look like that I actually have like lower lashes. Victoria makes fun of me because she's like, you have like all of 5 lower lashes. And I just got more. Before I forget to do this very important step, I'm going to use the highlight that I mentioned earlier on my Luxie tapered highlighting brush. This is the 522. I love this brush. I love this powder. Like, this highlight, oh my god. Let me spray this because I want this shit to pop. So I'm going to take some Fix Plus on my brush and just go ham. Like, you see that? That is fucking awesome. Like, I love a poppin' highlight, and this gives it to me. It looks so good. I love it. Highlight the bridge of the nose. Let's do above the brow. Let's just highlight everywhere. Why not, right? Fuck, I would want to glow everywhere. And then Cupid's bow. Everybody wants their Cupid's bow to be fucking lit, right? Last thing is lip color, and I love Ofra lipsticks, like the Ofra long-lasting lipsticks. I think we're gonna go for more pinky nude, and this is Laguna Beach because it's easy and foolproof, so let's do this real quick. And because this is such an easy color, you won't be able to like tell if you're getting butthole lips or not. So, and then of course you have to set it, so I'm gonna use MAC Fix Plus. You can use whatever setting spray you have. This is the only facial spray that I have with me, so that's why I'm using it. So, I feel like I take a bath in this stuff every time I use it. Woo! We're done! We're finally done! Oh my god. How does it look? You guys like it? I feel like it looks really good. And I feel like this is a good way of working color into your look, is in the crease. I love doing it, so here we go. So that'll do it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this playing with palettes type of video. I know it was a little longer because I did a full face in this and everything like that, But because this was the first one of this series I want to do, I figured why not put it in there. And I haven't done a foundation routine in a while. So yeah, I hope that you guys like this. Give it a thumbs up if you are down for the playing with palettes idea or just makeup tutorials in general. Subscribe if you haven't, like if you did. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions, concerns, anything, oh my god, can't speak, like that down in the comments section. Also, you can follow me on my other social media, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, all at jehbuu, the same way it's spelled here. I'm on Snapchat like every day. I try to post at least a couple times on there so you guys can see what I'm up to. And yeah, so that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! There we go. And outro is done.